Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to our Social Studies 12 course. So we're going to start today with a little pre-assessment to work out how much you remember and understand from our previous lesson. Okay, so if you could all log into your Google Classroom and you will see where it says synchronous learners, and that's you guys because you're joining the live lesson. And the link is to kahoot.it. So could you please click on that? It will then prompt you to wait for a pin, which I will provide for you.
Learning activity what?
2.
The rise of National Socialism.
Is correct.
I don't know the Kahoot is what are they? They are. You know, right? No, that's not. This has changed the performance. Which I've got 2 learning activity 2 is the rise of National Socialism.
You are just in time, so please log in just very quickly.
I can't get back to it, I don't know where it is.
Hold on a second. Okay, so to clarify where you're looking, please find this activity. And you will see it starting with a pre-assessment, and you'll see the links right there. Should I go jump on my desk? Better. Yeah. Give me 2 minutes, I'll go real quick. Okay, can everyone just give me the thumbs up that they're ready to go? On the side. All right. So there's your pin for today, 994072. You will be prompted to choose a username, and if you just spin it, then it will select one for you. So we've got Brave Leopard in. Still waiting for a couple of you. I've only got 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here plus Joyce, which should make 7. Smashed it. Smashed it. All right, I think we're good to go. Which country dropped 2 nuclear bombs on which other country at the end of World War II? The correct answer is the United States on Japan, which 2 of you got correct. Which 2 cities were the nuclear bombs dropped on? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Which 5 of you got correct? At the end of this unit, you will write a paper for or against nuclear disarmament.
Why is this? I can just do this now, but I've already done it.
That is true. Which 3 of you got correct? Which is not an essential question for this unit. Do it 20 times.
Oh, so this is their second go.
Do it 20 times. Right.
I've done it.
Yeah, but you should be doing it so you can do that.
No, I did it just now.
Just went through it. It is who owns what and why. 4 of you got that correct. In nuclear fallout, people die due to what? Wonderful. Radiation poisoning. All of you got that one. What treaty was signed after World War I? The answer is the Treaty of Versailles. 6 of you got that. Which pair of countries experienced roughly double or half the percentage of population who died in World War II? So you need to look at the graph, which you can see on the meets, because I'm also showing my screen. So you don't have to look at this, you can look at your meets. Then while you're looking here, it's on your meets and you can see it. Answer Belarus and Germany. 3 of you got that one. In roughly which year did the United States and the USSR have the same number of nuclear warheads? Again, you have to interpret the data on the graph. The correct answer, 1975. The person who got that, well done. The Germans were the bad guys in World War II. Is this historical fact or historical interpretation? 50-50 chance. The correct answer is historical interpretation. Which 4 of you got? Okay, last question. If Hitler had not invaded the USSR, he would have won World War II. Is that historical fact or historical interpretation? is historical interpretation. Which 4 have you got? Well done. With royal total,
Who's Royal Turtle?
Ria.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback on this to with your unit. Now, someone's making a lot of noise there, so if you're with us online, could you please mute your microphone? Thank you. Okay. With the data analysis, what you need to do there is first of all have a look at what the axes mean. Okay, so here we can see clearly the x-axis is showing the year, and then the y-axis is showing the number of warheads. So basically you're looking for where they intersect here, roughly the same number. And you can see that they intersect there, and of course, that correlates to 1975. Okay, so when you're looking at the data, make sure you understand what the axes are. Okay. Give you a little bit of feedback. Which treaty was signed after World War I? The answer is the Treaty of Versailles. So, a bit of feedback on the task level. It's really important that you understand what the Treaty of Versailles was and what the effects of it were, because that will help you answer the performance task, especially with the essential question, how can we mitigate conflicts and misunderstanding? Okay? And you can actually use the facts within that to justify your answer in the performance task. Just a little bit of feedback on questions 9 and 10 as well. You can see around half of you got that right. So this is a little bit of feedback here on the process level. Historical facts. These are things that are true no matter who is reading or studying it. Okay? So the question you should ask yourself is, could somebody else have a different opinion? If the answer to that is yes, it is historical interpretation, not historical fact. So, for example, somebody could say the Germans were not the bad guys, it was the UK, or it was Japan, or someone else. Therefore, it's interpretation, not fact. Okay? And the same goes for number 10. Okay? You can take this as many times as you like, so there's some areas that you need to restudy. Please do so. Okay, let's move on. So please find your Jamboard, okay? So you can find that, again, with your learning activity. If you just scroll down, you'll see all the resources here. and you'll see the Google Jamboard there.
Please assist me in finding this. What is it called?
Okay, so are you in your learning activity?
I'm in the learning activity on Classroom, yes.
So if you scroll down, and I'm still sharing my screen,
Yes.
you should see learning activity 2, and it says Google Jamboard.
Learning activity 1. Okay, wait, I don't know if I'm in the activity. I'm in this thing where it says stream, classwork, and people on the top.
Yes, okay. So what you need to do, you need to make sure that you are, let me show you how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you click on classwork.
Yes, sir.
Then you will see the topics down the left.
Mm-hmm.
And you choose this unit, the cause and consequences of conflict.
All right.
Scroll down and find learning activity 2.
Okay.
Scroll down and find your resources. Are you there?
Yes. Google Jamboard. Got it. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So let me just do a quick calculation. We need 3 groups, A, B, C. So you're going to be working in groups for this. So what I want to do is assign you a letter. So Ria A. Okay? Once I assign you the letter, I want you to type your name into the sticky notes. Okay? So Ria is A, Tida 1, you are B, Darlin C, Tida 2, A, Sachita B, Norman C, Dane A, Joyce B. Have I missed anyone? If you just double click on the sticky note. There you go, perfect. Okay, Norman, can you make sure it's correct where you say which person you are? Because that's important as well. It's important that you're number 1, 2, or 3 within the group. So, Dane, you've overwritten Ria. Make sure that you have a number within your group. Does that make sense? Please unmute yourself and ask a question if it's not clear.
No, it's fine. It's fine there, right? Ria number 2.
Can I play too?
There were definitely 3 A's, but I'm not seeing it. Ria, why have you disappeared? Stop kicking Ria out. Person 1 is Ria.
It's not me. I haven't touched anything. I'm going to delete myself. Ria, then please put yourself in.
So
Put yourself in.
Person 2, Dane, you're person 3, right?
Okay, fine.
Okay, so group B. So that's, why does it say Sachita 1? So it should say person 1, person 2, person 3. Group C, do we only have 2 people?
Someone keeps in mind that number. So 1.
No, it's just normal 1. Okay, so you should now be clear which group you're in, right?
Well, no, but something just happened.
Say that again, Dave.
Something just happened and now they're all gone. Now all our names are gone.
Well, It doesn't happen by magic, Dame.
It certainly wasn't me, sir. I blame Norman, actually.
Okay, so this is the group that you're going to be working in for the rest of today's lesson. So what I want you to do now is create a hangout with those people, okay? So the first one we got Ria, Tina, and Dave. Just create yourself a Google Hangout chat so you can communicate. Group B, Suchita, Tida, and Joyce. Group C, we have Dalin and Norman. Just say a quick hi. Okay, you're going to look at a few pictures, okay? But I want you to be considering some things as you view, okay? At the end of it, you're going to be getting into your hangout and you're going to be discussing whether you can see any connection between them. Are there similarities? Do they share the same theme? Start to think about if you have witnessed or read or seen anything similar in your lifetime. As always, with all of these, you need to be thinking about which habit of mind or habits of mind you need to use, and also which essential question, which will help you connect to the big idea, which will help you with the performance task. Okay, this one, we're going to be listening, or in this case, viewing, with understanding and empathy. So really, as you're looking, try to actually think about what the people in the pictures are thinking and feeling. Also, think about the big idea. How has the past shaped the present? In this case, we can say the topical EQ, what lessons can we learn from history? Okay, and then based on this, we're going to make our first post for the essential question. How has the past shaped the present? Okay, so take a moment to think about it. I will ask some questions to help you. So Tina, can you just explain what you can see in the picture?
I see the cross, so I think that it is the persecutions of Jews.
You think it's persecution of Jews because why?
Because Hitler want to clear all the Ukrainians, so they want to start those.
Do you know what the religious symbol of the Jews is? Well, you said because you see the cross, right? Which religion does the cross represent, Tina? It does not.
Christianity.
Christians, correct. The sign of Judaism is actually the Star of David, which is the two intertwining triangles. But okay. Next question, Tina. These people here, how are they dressed?
White.
They're dressed in white, yes. Anything else you notice about the way they're dressed?
It's like they are having like a big
It looks like they're having what, sorry?
pain.
Pain.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. How do you think they're feeling as they're doing this?
Pick me.
Yeah, these people.
They're feeling like despair.
They're in despair. Okay, that's great. Let's move on. Let's have an online learner. Dane, are you with us?
Yes, yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Can you see the slide?
Absolutely can.
All right. So first of all, where is it?
Indonesia in the 1960s, it says.
Okay, it certainly does. Very observant. Okay, just explain what you are viewing here, please, Dane.
It looks like we have some military forces capturing, I don't know, civilians or perhaps enemy guerrillas.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's actually think about this guy, the soldier. Okay, what do you think he's feeling at this time?
I don't know. I guess it depends on. Look, I think he's probably feeling scared. He's not sure why he's having to arrest these people who are his kin and his brethren. But I don't know. I suppose he could be angry. I mean, this is wartime. He could have animosity toward the other side. Who knows?
That's fantastic, Dave. Insightful. And then the poor guy here at the other end of the gun barrel. How do you think he's feeling?
Shit, I should have stayed in bed.
Yes, probably not too happy. Thank you very much. All right, let's go back to our on-site learners. So let's actually have Tida 1. Can you describe what you're looking at there?
It might be a smart roof. You're into millions of that roof.
Okay, it reminds you of the Khmer Rouge. Okay, do you know where this picture is taken from? It's Tulsa Museum. Okay, and why are these? Why did these people have their pictures taken?
I think those people were killed at the time. Decided they were taken by the
Yeah, absolutely correct. Well done, Tida. So these are victims of the genocide. Okay. All right, let's go back online. Joyce,
Yes, sir.
what can you see?
There is a taxi sign for white people only.
Okay, where and when is this?
It was taken in 1980 in South Africa.
Okay, so maybe let's just talk about if you were black in South Africa at that time, how would you feel seeing that?
I would feel angry because
Why?
why are you discriminating black people? Can't black people ride taxi too?
All right, thank you very much, Joyce. Okay, so let's go back on site. Norman, where and when?
Rwanda 1990s.
Okay, what do you see?
Tragedy.
Absolute tragedy. Describe it a little bit more for us.
The aftermath of genocide.
There's some kind of
and the child is probably exhibiting heartache and grief, probably because people she knew or were related to are among those victims.
wonderful. Thank you, Norman. So heartache and grief. Okay, let's go back online. Dane again.
Yes, sir.
Where and when?
Bosnia 90s.
Okay, can you describe briefly what you can see?
We're seeing mass coffins. They look small as well. They look like they could possibly be child coffins.
Mm-hmm.
It also looks to be some or other grieving ceremony in the wake of a genocide or a bomb or some kind of persecution. I'm not 100% sure what was going on in Bosnia in the 90s, but this looks like these people have all come together to pay respect to these people that were lost, mind you, but look at the flag. That looks like a military flag, a military insignia on the coffins.
Very detailed answer there. And again, You look at these people at the front here, what kind of feelings would they be having?
I'm seeing absolute sadness, suffering. I'm seeing disbelief is what I'm seeing.
Sadness, suffering, and disbelief. Thank you so much. Okay, this is the last one. Let's go to Ria. It doesn't tell you where and when for that one. Could you have a guess? You say Europe? Which part of Europe? Maybe Eastern Europe, very perceptive. Any idea where? Wait, so when is this recent? Do you think?
Yeah.
You think it's recent? Okay. And what are the people doing here? They're protesting, or certainly marching, right? Any idea what they might be protesting or marching against?
Against the euro currency.
They're looking at marching against euro currency. Okay, good. Based on the letter, okay, but that might refer to the continent or even the people. Okay. Anyone have any other ideas of what? Yes, Tina.
It's protest about religious.
You think they're protesting about religion? Why do you say that?
I saw the cross, the sign of it.
Oh, up here. Okay. Explain a little bit more. Against which religion do you think?
I think they are Jewish.
They are Jewish, or they're protesting against Jewish?
They are Jewish.
You think these people are Jewish, protesting against Christians?
Yeah, Christianity.
Okay. All right. Does anyone actually recognize this sign that this gentleman is doing? What is he doing with his arm?
Heil Hitler.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dane. Can you explain to the rest of our group what that is?
It was the salute that the German army gave to Hitler. It was their way of saluting. It was a sign of the Third Reich and of Hitler's. I'm not exactly sure about the symbology of the arm up in the air, but it was definitely from his reign.
That's wonderful. So look how much we can learn from our peers here. So, Dane,
Yes,
now
sir.
you know that, and this individual making this sign, can you make a guess what they might be protesting about?
I would actually hold on. I see Catholic and Christian symbology in the signs. So I'm saying that they are protesting some or other kind of ethnic cleansing or some ethnic rites, have to do perhaps with Christianity or Catholicism.
Okay.
Not too sure.
Excellent. Good insights. What about the, we can say race, or at least the color of their skin? What do you see?
They look like they might be, I don't know. They're definitely Serbian or German, something along those lines.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they're all definitely white, aren't they?
Yes.
Right. Good. So there they are all together. And actually, you can see one more here, okay? So I actually want to give you now 5 minutes to discuss. So what is the common thread here? What is the similarities, okay, to all of this? Also think about how the people were feeling, not only the people that are sad and the people that have been killed and their relatives, but the people that did the killing, the people that did the oppression. Why would they do these things? What might be the reason for some of these things? Is this happening today in the world?
Yes.
This is for your group day.
Okay.
So you can mute yourself now, go into your Hangout, share those ideas. Where in the world is this happening? Is it the same reason as in these pictures? And then the final question is, how could we have learned from these events in the past? How can we use our knowledge of the past to change the present? Okay? Share those ideas in your Hangout group. We may have a little bit of time to hear some of them, but then you can use that idea to answer the essential questions. I'll give you about 5 minutes to discuss in your group. Take it about 2.5 minutes left. Okay, so with 30 seconds left, can you just decide amongst you who will be the spokesperson for your group? So we'll try and get a chance to hear from all three groups. I think I know what just happened there. Okay. Remember, there's no wrong answers here. So, group A, who would like to share some ideas? Ria, are you the spokesperson?
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, okay, Dave, you're in?
Sure, I'm in. Okay, so we discussed first that all those pictures had a commonality to them, which stemmed across race, religion, persecution of different ethnic groups. We decided that they all showed a commonality of nationalism. And we said, yes, these things are actually happening right now. We gave the example that Trump is currently trying to nationalize America. It's happening in China on a massive scale. Just have a look at Hong Kong and Taiwan. We also had a look, we also said that in Nigeria and Africa is another country where we're seeing cases of genocide resurfacing and new bouts of ethnic cleansing and stuff that's happening there. Myanmar against Rohingya. Yeah, that's about as far as we got.
I suppose my next question is, do you think we've learned anything at all from history, Dave?
I mean, I'd like to say yes, but I don't think we've learned as much as we should have. I mean, I feel like we repeat mistakes over and over again without actually ever having a look at our history and thinking, well, shit, we could have avoided this.
Right. Wonderful points, Dave. So you need to think about some of those when you're choosing whether you think the nuclear deterrent is actually a good thing, or are there other ways that we can avoid these kind of things in the future? Thank you, Dane. Group B, who would like to speak? Tida? Yeah.
So to discuss the group, find the difference, find the similarity that all the different interpretations are all objects.
Right.
Because sometimes they are forced to do it. And think that the past will view us both beneficial and spares.
Okay. Yes. Just to go back, so you think that all of the people in the pictures are victims, even the people doing the killing? Can you just explain about that a little bit more?
Because sometimes people kill each other without any reason.
Right.
Just like they go to the work and kill each other, they don't know why they have to kill each other.
I see. Right. So whose fault is it then?
I think the most powerful leader,
Right.
they force their soldiers to do it.
Okay. So let's actually take that back to last lesson and the essential question: what's worth fighting for? So if you've got what you said, a powerful person or a leader that's ordering other people to kill, should he die?
I think it depends. For some time, you just want to empower his country, or maybe he's oppressed by others, so he has to fight for it. So I don't think that he should die just because of that.
Should we allow this to happen?
It should not be.
Is there another way that we can solve this?
Yes, I think we can just do it in peaceful ways,
Right.
rather than to kill people just because of their own kindness.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going. Oh no, actually, we do have one more, don't we? So, Dalin.
You are 19.
Okay, so when you're speaking, and we need to remember the microphone's there, you need to speak very loudly and clearly.
As a discussion.
Okay, but you don't want to your microphone because it's going to create feedback. So try to project your voice.
We have to just the way so just show that it's all about the conflict.
Yes.
And
Okay, Dave, I think that's you. Can you mute your microphone, please? Thank you. Sorry, Lynn.
yes, and another reason that some country they create the war is because they want to show off their power over the nations, and it is the war and conflict that's part of the humanity. And the past is has shaped the reason not to discriminate the people.
You think that we should learn not to discriminate, or we have learned?
We have to do it.
Have? Do you think there's less discrimination now than in those pictures?
Yes, that's that.
Less than before.
That's not my argument, is that discrimination is good.
Norman thinks that we should discriminate more. Can you explain that?
Well, I think we should discriminate on a number of levels. I don't think it would be misplaced to discriminate against paedophiles and murderers. I also think we should use light discrimination against unintelligent voters. But you know, we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Well, no, but I think these are linked to the essential questions. So, am I right in saying that it's worth fighting against paedophilia? And then to take that on to the next level, if there was a planet or a country full of sex offenders, would it be okay to nuke them?
Absolutely.
Right, so then this will give you some things to think about when writing your performance task. Say, could in some cases the use of nuclear weapons be acceptable? Okay, we've only got 20 minutes left, so I'm not going to assign you to write your essential question. However, I do just want you to bring your attention to where it is. So please do just have a look at your classwork. And if you scroll down, you can see today's essential question. How has the past shaped the present? What you will also see here are some topical essential question prompts. Some of those are from the reading that you're just about to do. So please don't forget, essential questions can be answered anytime throughout the unit, whether you're in school, at home, middle of the night, wherever. You can write more, you can ask questions, and you can answer your peers. Okay, let's go on to the reading activity. Okay, so this is why it's important that you're in these groups with a number, okay? If you're student 1, you're going to be reading The Night of the Broken Glass. Okay, so again, you should see that in the resources at the bottom. If you're student 2, you're going to read Paris Peace Treaties and the League of Nations. to 1933, but only pages 6 to 9. Your student 3, you're going to read Hitler and Lebensraum in the East. So make sure you can find that in your resources. For group C, Dallin, you're marked as 3, right? So you're going to read the last one. Norman, you can read 2 sections.
What?
Okay.
I've already read the Night of the Broken Glass.
So you're going to be acting as person 1 and 2.
Okay, so number 2 is reading what?
Paris Peace Treaties and the League of Nations. Please have a look at these guiding questions as you read. I'm not going to read them out for you. These are things to think about as you're reading.
And obviously got that Broken Glass, League of Nations. So where's the Hitler and Lebensraum?
That's Dallin's reading that one.
That's on the I'm reading League of Nations.
That's the Lebensraum.
So to confirm now, we must all go and read this now.
Yep. Just read that yourself. Consider those questions. What you're actually going to do is you're going to teach this to the other members of your group. Okay, I just want to get an idea of where you are. Tida, have you pretty much finished the reading? Yeah, it's okay. Other Tida, do you need more time? No, it's okay. Okay, Norman? Okay, so go back to your Hangout group, okay? Now, the idea is that you're going to summarize what you have read to the other members of your team, okay? So this is a quick way where you can learn a lot of information without having to read every single article, all right? So go into your Hangout and take it in turns, okay, to share the summary of the article that you have read. Of course, then you can ask any questions of your classmates for clarification. And then you can re-reference all of these questions here to guide you, okay? So when you're explaining the night of the broken glass, what were the causes? What were the effects? Could this have been avoided? How? Have we learned from it? Again, topical essential question. For those of you who read about the League of Nations, again, look, what was it? Why was it set up? Was it a success? Why or why not? What could have been done differently? Again, how can we apply lessons learned from the League of Nations? And you might think about an organization such as the United Nations. If you read about Lebensraum, what was it? Where did it come from? What was its origins? Where did Adolf Hitler seek to gain Lebensraum? Why did he choose there? Do you think that expansionism is reasonable? Is it acceptable for a nation to do that, especially in the modern world? You think yes, why? You think no, why not? Are there countries in the world that practice Lebensraum today? Share your idea with your classmate.
I've done the summaries.
I do just want to draw your attention to something. Okay, please don't forget our KWL or know, want to know and learn chart. This is very, very useful for your performance task here. So have you actually begun to answer some of your questions here in the what do we want to know section? Do you have more questions now? Now you know more about Lebensraum, the League of Nations. And now you know a little bit about the persecution of the Jews. Have you learned some facts now that are going to help you with the performance task as well? So make sure that you share your ideas here. It's very, very useful. Okay? Couple of other points that I want to make. Within the classwork, okay, there are also some enrichment activities for you to do. So you can see here in the enrichment resources, some additional reading, whatever parts you're particularly interested in. Notice that it also says the learning activity that they're related to, so you can link there. And you will see here some links to some Edpuzzle resources. Okay, so these are nice and short videos, just 3 to 5 minutes long, that will give you some knowledge, links to the content of the lesson, and there's some questions there as well that will come up as you're viewing. Okay, you'll also get feedback on that. Could I ask whoever keeps messaging me on Hangouts not to do so? It's very annoying with the video and the recording that we're doing. Thank you.
But that could be anyone in the whole school.
Yes, but I can see which set it is. This is for professional development. Thank you. All right. I'm going to change it up slightly from the plan, because with 10 minutes to go, I think it's a good time to have a little bit of an understanding-based activity. So again, go to our classwork. This time it is actually, let me find it. Learning activity 2, again, okay, but actually this is the assignment, which you should be able to find. So this is what it looks like. We can complete this outside of this lesson. And you can also submit this for feedback. You have some statements here. Patriotism, with the definition. Love for or devotions to one country is a positive trait. Joyce. Hello, Joyce.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
All right. Consider that statement. Notice here there's a spectrum of agreement from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Can you just share your thoughts on that? Patriotism is a positive trait.
Somewhat agree. That would be my answer for that.
Somewhat agree. Can you just give us a short justification of that?
I think we need to have a clear definition of what patriotism is all about, because sometimes patriotism could be positive or negative depending on the rulers or the leaders' perspective of what they want to do with the country and the citizens living in it. Okay.
So am I right in saying you're saying that if a leader of a country has bad intentions, then patriotism is also negative?
Yes, that is correct.
Wonderful. Okay. Ria, nationalism is a positive trait. Okay, there's also a definition of nationalism there if it helps. To what extent? Do you agree with that statement? Somewhat agree. And can you give us a short justification?
Because the nationalism can sometimes lead to racism.
Nationalism can lead to racism. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, just in Myanmar.
Okay, can you speak nice and loudly so everyone can hear that's online as well?
Just for example, like in the case of Myanmar, the government and the people they against the ruling group. So I think it's just because they feel like they want to promote them, but they want to oppress the other.
Wonderful, thank you, Ria. So if you didn't hear that, Ria was giving an example where nationalism could be negative. So the example that she gave was in Myanmar, where the Rohingya are being persecuted and oppressed by other Burmese people, and that perhaps could be down to this sense of nationalism. Okay, let's go to TDA 2. My government. When I say my government, you could say that's the Cambodian government. Normally you could think about the UK government. Whoever you consider as your government should limit the flourishing of other races in my country so we can keep our culture and identity. Do you agree with that? You do not. Can you tell us? So is that somewhat or strongly disagree? Strongly disagree. Can you tell us why?
Because like every race says like they have freedom to live. So if we limited them, like we don't allow them to come into our country, it means that we are practicing racism.
I strongly disagree with that.
Can I ask you a question, Tina? Okay. Now, what if over time, lots and lots of Westerners move into Cambodia, okay, and they're really not. Maybe so all the women are wearing short shorts, or maybe they're wearing bikinis on the beach, and maybe their behaviour is, let's just say, different. Is that okay?
It's hard to say it's okay.
All right, well, let me throw another question at you. To an outsider coming into Cambodia now. So if I called some of my family or friends from the UK to come to Cambodia, specifically Phnom Penh, Kampong South, essentially it feels like you're in China. Okay, it's really, you don't come here and get a sense of this is Cambodia, this is China. I mean, you go to the airport to China, go back to China, see who feels China. I mean, it largely feels like China. So it's easier to come to Cambodia and sort of identify with the Chinese culture than Khmer culture. Do you think that's a good thing? Are you happy living in something that is largely a copy of China?
It's okay if they come in, like stay in Cambodia, but the government should like create or establish the law. I mean, like a policy for them to follow if they're.
Yeah, but then look at the question. My government should limit the flourishing of other races in my country so we can keep our cultural identity. Now you're losing your identity. I mean, it doesn't take anyone a lot of intelligence to realise that the Cambodian identity is being replaced by the Chinese identity. Are you happy with that?
No, I'm not.
It's interesting because I think unquestioning, maybe you went a little bit from strongly disagree to someone, or maybe someone agree, because you said your government should limit it. You said there,
Yeah.
it's not easy question, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason. Okay, we're almost at the end. So Suchita, final one. Oh, there's two, sorry. Did you learn about Lebensraum, Suchita? Did you read about it, or did you get taught about it? Which group were you in?
I did Lebensraum.
Is that you, Dave?
Yeah.
Were you in Suchita's group?
No.
With who, sorry? Which group were you in? A, B, or C? B. Okay. So who read about Lebensraum? You did. Did you? Which person in your group read about Lebensraum? Okay, but you didn't read it. Okay. See that there. What is Lebensraum?
It's called living space.
Living space. Good. What does it mean, though?
To extend, I mean, the lane. What is it? Yes, I think somewhat agree.
You somewhat agree. Okay, so let's take it in this context then. It says, my country. Where should Cambodia expand to get some living space?
Vietnam.
Into Vietnam. How would that help Cambodia?
I think that the land should belong to Cambodia. I think we should get it back.
Okay.
It doesn't belong anymore.
What was that, Dave?
It doesn't belong anymore, and it's because of the Vietnamese sort of seeking Lebensraum that Cambodia has lost so much of its territory.
That's why I want it back.
I will let them know.
Dave, is Lebensraum acceptable as a foreign policy?
No, I don't really think it is. Not in this day and age anymore. No.
Tell me why.
The pursuit of territory inevitably is going to end up in war, and it's inevitably going to end up in turmoil, and people are going to die. So in order to go and claim somebody else's territory, you're going to have to take it from them. So no, I don't think it is a positive strategy for any country, especially Cambodia, who doesn't really have much of a leg to stand on when it comes to fighting the Vietnamese.
Thank you so much. All right, we're at the end of the lesson, very, very quickly. Teeter 2, killing 6 million people is acceptable to promote a culture, nation, or ideology. What one? Strongly disagree?
It depends if that countries have tried to invade my country, so I need to protect like citizens in my country. If they are staying in their land and then they don't invade us.
Well, I think you're saying that maybe you somewhat
yes.
agree if they are trying to invade you. Right.
Because we just try to protect our lives, not
Okay. Couple of things here. Okay, please do and submit. Okay, so again, think of the EQ. All of you, everything you've learned today, how has the past shaped the present? What can we learn about the past? What lessons can we learn from history? Also, think about your habit of mind, listening and understanding with empathy. How have you used that in today's lesson to help prepare you for the performance task by putting yourself in the shoes of some of the people that we have learned about today? Okay. Thank you so much, everybody.
Nice one.
Thank you, Teacher Fo.
Okay. Have a great day.